I have something for you from your dad.
It's a wizard staff.
I wrote this spell so I could see for myself who my boys grew up to be.
This spell brings him back.
Back to life?
He wanted to meet you more than anything.
Holy toots of Zadar! How did you...
I don't know, it just started!
Hang on!
Dad?
There's no top part! Dad, you are in your house! Oh, boy! We've only got 24 hours to bring back the rest of Dad. We're going on a quest. All quests start with the Manticore, the fearless adventurer.
You mean Corey? She's over there.
Quick! Somebody help me! These Griffin nuggets were supposed to go out minutes ago!
That's the Manticore?
You guys are in trouble big time.
Get in the vehicle. I'm escorting you home. I'm giving you to the count of 3.
Okay.
Wait, what are you doing?
Aloha! This is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man. And last night, opening night, I went ahead and saw a nice family movie, the Pixar movie, the new Disney Pixar movie, Onward. And without further ado, remember our rating scale, shock a thumbs up. It's good to see, I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down. It's junk, I don't recommend it. Don't see it. And for Onward, the new Disney Pixar film, it is a shock a thumbs up. Now this stars Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, Octavia Spencer, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and hey, quiet over there. And even Annie Wong? Yeah, Janie Wong? Oh well. But it stars all those guys as the voices of these characters in this new Pixar animated movie. And let me just get this out of the way right away here. They did as most Pixar movies do, a short in front of this, a short cartoon, 5 minutes maybe at most. And it turned out to be pretty good. It was The Simpsons, of all things, a little story with Maggie Simpson finding love at the park where she goes every day. And a little bit of an adventure with her father and her mom, which was really nice, you know, kind of solidifying and saying, hey, as Disney, we do accept, you know, the Fox properties, even the animated stuff, The Simpsons. And, you know, at its core, you know, Simpsons has always been a good family show, despite some of the risqueness and violence that, you know, got it such, you know, bad press when it first started out. But, you know, at its core is a good family foundation of a show, which is exactly what The Simpsons and Pixar and Disney, you know, have always kind of went for. And, well, you know, this movie Onward, the main feature, is no different than that of the setup. Speaking of family, you know, family, like in Vin Diesel's Fast and Furious, family. It's all about the family. But yeah, but it is. We find you know, 2 brothers, a mother, a stepfather, where these guys have basically grown up without knowing their real father. Not because he left, as would be normal in today's society, however, because he died. Yeah, I guess Disney isn't that, or Pixar is not that progressive. So the father died before the youngest son was born, and just as the second youngest son, his brother, was, you know, maybe 4 or 5. So he has vague memories of him, but nothing solid. Well, come upon the youngest son's 16th birthday, and the mother brings down an item, a gift that the father had left for them. And essentially, what they've done with this was that the father, well, the world which these people live in, these are elves, these are mystical, magical beings of the world. Think of like a D&D, you know, kind of show or scenario, almost like that, gosh, that what was that, Bright or something from Netflix, where, you know, it's nowadays, so it's modern days, technology is around, but there is there were hints of magic as being that these mythical creatures, centaurs, unicorns, pegasi, are all around, dragons even. But, you know, as technology became more prevalent, magic kind of died away from the world, or at least people forgot about it. And what they say about this society, this world, is that people, you know, magic was hard. It was hard, it was difficult to learn, the spells took lots of time to cast and focus and prepare for. When technology came around and it was so much easier for anybody to use these magical devices, they opted for that, and basically people got waned off of magic, and it became not a myth, but, you know, a thing that people thought were extinct. Well, this family's father had died, you know, at his son's young age, one even before he was born. And he leaves them his magic staff with a spell on it that would bring him back for one day so that he might finally meet his sons, you know, now that they have reached, you know, close to adulthood, 16, and I think the other is like 18, maybe 17, just a few more years older than him. Maybe even 20, I don't know. You never get exactly the age of the oldest brother, only that the youngest is 16. So the mother gives them the staff, they cast the spell, but something happens that goes wrong during its casting, and only the bottom half of their father, you know, from the waist down, appears. So he can't see them, he can't hear them, but he can feel them, you know, as they tap his feet to let them know that he's there, you know, with the right people, with his family. So in order to try to get another gem which powers this staff, or at least for this powerful of a spell, they go on this epic road trip, adventure, epic fantasy-like adventure, where they must go on a quest through all these dangers, on a long journey, in order to get this magical gem to put in the staffs to finish casting the spell before the end of the day, which, you know, when the father will disappear. Now, I won't go into any more spoilers on this other than that, and you can see that all from the trailer. But it is, you know, if you enjoy D&D, if you've ever played D&D, or you enjoy these fantasy movies with elves and orcs and monsters, and, you know, like maybe a Conan adventure where people are going on an epic quest, you'll definitely enjoy this movie. Children will definitely enjoy this movie. There are lots of funny parts in it, lots of jokes, and, you know, just a little bit of tugging on the heartstrings at the very end, as Pixar does. It didn't make me weep like most Pixar movies, so it's a little weaker than, I'd say this is probably the weakest Pixar movie since Toy Story. But overall, it's still a good movie to watch with your kids. I do highly recommend the 3D. I saw this in 3D just by accident. And it was incredible with the magic spells. There's a fight scene in the third act at the end of the movie where, you know, the son who cast the spell is kind of battling a large monster of epic proportions and scale, and finally begins to let the magic flow through him. and he's flying and he's doing all these levitation spells, and you're right there in the action. But even when the movie starts, within the first 5 minutes of the movie, you get an epic kind of visual portrayal of how this magic takes place in the movie. And with the whether it be the light spells or firework like spells like Gandalf did in Lord of the Rings, in the Friar, you're right there with the casting, with the explosion of the magic flying through, with these wizards, with these magical creatures. The 3D is really spot on in this movie, and I highly recommend it. If you don't mind 3D, wearing the glasses, your kids and you will definitely enjoy it. Again, this is much more of a family movie. If you're hardcore, you want a lot of blood and guts and action and stuff, you're not going to get it from the Pixar movie to begin with, but there is a little bit of an adventure epicness in this movie. If you're a fantasy or you like that type of action, there is some action, but it's not going to be enough to, say, hold you over if you're looking for the next Terminator or a real Dungeons and Dragons or epic Witcher or Conan-like quest. It's not that. Think very much more on the lines of like a Mandalorian. That's kind of what I felt like, and there's even a part in the tunnel, like in the final, where these guys are going through a tunnel on a boat, very much like the last episode of The Mandalorian. So, it did kind of have that feel to it. But essentially it is about two brothers going on a journey with their long-lost father, and kind of not only reconnecting with him is what it starts out to be, but also with one another, and finding each other's strengths and weaknesses and seeing each other in a different light that maybe they have taken for granted, like the magic that the world had lost. Seeing that again reignites not only the magic in themselves, but the magic and wonder of what a wonderful family that they have, that their father, who had died a long time ago, had left them with a wonderful mother. And even the stepfather has, they begin to see that, he does have some positive aspects to him, and he's not just, our dad's replacement, but a full member of society in this family, to say the least. And he should be loved along with everyone else, as he has, struggled to show love towards, the sons, and the mother, as kind of being seen as the outsider. So yes, this is definitely a fun, family-filled movie. Definitely something to pick up on DVD or buy on iTunes. If you don't get to the theater to see it, definitely, remember it and watch it streaming. This will definitely be one of the ones that your children will be very entertained by. And enjoy, and something that even you yourself as the adult can sit down and giggle at some of the jokes, and like the epic, grandeur of the adventure and the fantasy aspect of it all as well. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man, giving Onward a shaka thumbs up, and even the short Simpson episode with Maggie Simpson a shaka thumbs up at the beginning as well. Go ahead and check out this movie. Again, I recommend the 3D, which I normally don't. They really did a good job on it. So yeah, it'll knock your socks off for sure. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man, here in Hawaii, saying shaka thumbs up for Onward. All right, thank you so much, and aloha.